especially if you're talking about you're creating this thing that you're going to give to a one-off. You're going to give it to a friend. Make it a little gift for a Christmas gift or something. Yeah, I know I have some pink ones here. Another pink one. See, there's the next one. Lots of little tools. Lots of pink in these. I'm thinking that it's kind of make a really neat gift for somebody going off to engineering school, or somebody that just maybe just made some kind of an award in at their school doing some sort of robotics challenge or something. Just keep an eye out on those kids' books. The best place I've ever seen to get kids' books is the church rummage sales. They'll have boxes of them that they are just, I've never seen them for more than $1 a piece. And those rummage sales, if you're getting there towards the end of the day, feel free to say, because that stuff just going to have to be stored or go in a dumpster. At the end of the day, say, if I take all of these books, can I have them for 60 cents a piece? Or, if you've only got $10, say, I've only got $10. Can I have this box of them? Or this box with all the broken ones and the dirty ones that I fished out of the collection? Can I have these for my artwork? For whatever it is you can afford. And, I can't remember a time where they ever said, no, we absolutely have to get what's marked on there. Usually it's like, of course, sure. There's been a lot of times that I'm going to a church rummage sale and I take stuff with me to donate. I come in the door and surprises them. They'll say, have you been rung up already? And I'll say, no, this is incoming. I wouldn't do that at the last few minutes of the day, but all right, we got a little bit of green in this guy's shirt. So I think, yep, bingo. How's that? A little fulcrum there. You can see my little pile is really, I've still got a few more to go. I've noticed this. Once I get to about 10 or a dozen out of a book, I start getting real choosy about, I really want that. That doesn't look as good as the other ones. It's terrible. Because to me, it really is this precious little thing. It's a one-time. It's a one-time deal. I'm not ever going to see this kid's book again. That it's just not going to happen that I'm going to run across it. So it's kind of neat. All of these little scraps that you see as I'm trimming these, all of these little scraps are going to go in a pile, and I will use them for some other kind of stationery. They won't get wasted, don't worry. There's very little. I have 2 big containers in the studio, and I probably empty one bag every 2 weeks. And when you think about all the sawdust and the woodworking and all, that's mostly what's in there. If I'm sorting a big batch of wood that just came in, sometimes there's, some pieces that are just split and dangerous and bad, and I end up throwing them out. Sometimes I have somebody that comes every now and then that has a outdoor stove. If I know he's coming in a week or so, I will, save up the wood, and he'll take it all with him. But it's one room with a lot of stuff going on, so, I can't store stuff inevitably. All right, pink maybe again? These are getting quite a bit of pink. That's all right. I like the idea of these going to a female engineering student. The colors are pretty. That neat? So there's our big stack. Look at all those. That's our big stack that we've got out of the one kid's book. Now let's see, if you get 50 cards, Normally if they're $9.99, so say $10 for 50, but then you get either 40 or 60% off depending on what kind of a sale you caught. So that's math. I'm not doing it. Alright. Get a little dinosaur picture of that. Now there's only about 4 colors in these dinosaur pictures, so I figure we're going to have cards that look a lot alike when we get done. And here's another way to do it. This little dinosaur, that little dinosaur. The thing about pictures, you kind of have to be careful about, cutting noses and tails and things off. Gotta use a little artistic discretion there. Just think, if you remember that your little brother used to love, Alexander's Very, Very Horrible Bad Whatever Day book, and you used to read it to him when he was a little boy. Just imagine, getting these out, finding an old copy of it, making him some cards. And of course, remember, you've got these beautiful pages with all this other art. Save all of that. Put it into your goodie bin. It's nice if you can figure out a way to organize your papers so that you can keep them color organized. There's a bunch of little bins that you can get at Harbor Freight. They're about that big. And they come on a little rack, like 2 tiers or 3 tiers, a little rack ready to go. It can sit on a desk or it can hang on a wall. And I think it's 15 or 18 of those little bins. They are just the handiest things if you just work with small amounts. They're very, very handy. And, if you're cutting a whole bunch of pieces of paper that are smaller than 3 by 5, they'll fit in there just fine. I'm just going through and cutting them out. A pretty little dinosaur. Yeah, don't throw away stuff. If you don't use it now, you can use it for something else. So, one more. Sometimes the pictures are just better from one book to another. Another idea is if you have some sort of a cricket cutter or something, you could be taking that little round, put this through and cut these little round medallions. It could be used for any kind of, kitchen magnets all the way to gift tags at Christmas. You could just, even if it's just a scene like this where it's just a jungle, you can grab these interesting shapes, a little dinosaur face. Look at this pretty picture across here. There's a lot of material here for another book that has nothing to do with dinosaurs. Another set of cards completely. Pieces of paper that are just plain like this, you just rub any kind of house paint on those. Brush them with 2 coats of house paint, or lay them all out and spray them with objects on top of them. Spray them with paint spray, and then move the objects and put them somewhere else and spray with a different color, and then do it a 3rd time. Just You know, this right here could become a beautiful card. So we'll lay these aside. I'll put them inside this book for now. And then later on I'll do some more of those. So here's our little pile from our dinosaur book. And we're going to find some colors. And again, here's my card size. So I have a little extra room to work with here. And how about the green? Here's my little dinosaur card. A little simple. And depending on how you cut things and the colors you put with them, they can have all kinds of messages. This looks like he's all alone. Poor little dinosaur all by himself. And this one. This one is the dinosaur either taking care of her eggs or eating somebody else's. I'm not sure which. Looks like a congratulations, you're having a baby card to me. The green's kind of strong. I have orange in here, don't I? I don't like that either. Blue. What's in my other box? Oh well, we're going for sinister here anyway, right? How about black? Yeah. You know, we're so conditioned to buy what we see in a store, and we're told all our lives that what you can make yourself isn't as good as what's in a store. You know, we really need to combat that, not only with our kids, but with ourselves. You know, these could easily be the drawings that you made yourself, you know, in your own studio. They don't have to be cut up out of an old book. I like the recycling aspect of it, but that, you know, that's not the main thing. And sometimes, this one I just decided I really don't like that picture after all. Sometimes after you crop them, they can look very different. I'm just trimming it out a little bit bigger than the original. All these little pieces will become bookmarks and things. A little blue one. Remember too the power of making layers. You could do a overhead transparency, put your poem or your saying or whatever, and then have it put onto a overhead transparency, and then cut out the part that's your poem and just add it as a sheet over this, or neatly fasten it to the inside of the card. Oh, this big guy with a big angry mouth. But I see some pink in that mouth, so pink is what he's going to get. But yeah, it's a very, very pleasant way to just get your books and cut them up, and you sit there. And, it's a perfect activity when you've just got to sit with somebody who's not feeling real well, or you've got to, just a need for one of those quiet days where you're just, not struggling to be the busiest human on earth. You just want to kind of chill out. You might know a little niece or nephew or somebody that's the right age to, they might have some drawings that you could use. Or you can draw on top of the drawings. That one. But, yeah, I think we spend a little too much time worrying about things. And this is a nice quiet activity. You just imagine if you had, some of your kids or your niece or nephews got some